My role is to understand how a science of great complexity can inform artistic expression. I don't think artists are going to transform the way science progresses, but there is something definitely important about creating this conversation and opening it up. Philosophically, we want to know why we are here and what the world is made for.
And we're interested in working with scientists who work with physical matter. What was really appealing about CERN to us is it's matter that's completely invisible. You could never totally just observe nature. You would always be having the hand of man in there somewhere, and so it would be mediated through the science. And so we started asking more philosophical questions about science and became more interested in questioning our place in nature and looking at that through the lens of science and technology.
Halo is thinking about the idea of placing the viewer within the centre of this scientific experiment where you're surrounded by a ring of light. In a way, you become the source of the event, the proton-proton collisions.
So we are taking individual collisions and we are slowing those down so that you can then experience that in a human time frame. You know, you get a sense in there that there must be something scientific going on, but you don't have to understand that to experience the artwork.
We've taken this data from this really complicated experiment and reshaped it so that we can place the viewer inside. We like to work with the raw data, partly because it has all the artifacts and the noise of nature still inherent in there. In a way, it's closer to what nature is. It's messy. It's also more beautiful. It's like looking at an old photograph and seeing more character in there.
The manipulation they've done on the data is actually more accurate than what we see when we reconstruct the data ourselves, because they are paying attention to the small features of the low energy things and looking at it in a slightly different way, which is still valid from a scientific point of view, but also from an artistic point of view.
Digital data has been turned into points of light for a projection, and also MIDI data, which is basically a sound score that can be played by the mechanical instrument.
So the mechanical part of Halo is how the sound is all made. And when you get to watch that up close, you can see the complexity that's involved in the many layers.
Okay, so we've got 24 strings that we're trying to get to resonate and be controlled in sync with the raw data coming from CERN without there being any speakers. It's a mechanical linkage which picks up the vibrations of the string, and then it's amplified through circuits which we control via the computer, and it goes to a resonant sound box. So what you're actually hearing is the string itself vibrate.
Halo is a sculpture which transcends the way the scientists use the data to becoming an experience that is quite humbling, and we like to call this technological sublime.